My dear friends, this is our 39th day's quarantine meditation, and I'm so glad we keep it so long and continue doing it. But of course, we are all looking forward to go outside and to meet all the friends, at least to have a coffee. Mentioned that we'd like to continue probably for like days. And I'd like to do some pre-announcement. I believe today is a Thursday. In Chinese, we always say 山中无岁月. You forgot, the time when you are in the mountain. And I remember that there were like 10 years. I don't know how old I was. So I became a nun when I was 20, and up to 30 and even more, like 32, 33, and we don't have a birthday. So I never remember like I was 21, 22, 23. So because my life in the monastery, we so much, kind of routines, and did not care that much what happened outside the monastery. So, but anyway, the pre-announcement will be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I will invite Venerable Hui Sheng, the monk, to come here again to share with his experience and also his view about meditation. So please come to join us on the Saturday night, Sunday night. Okay. So again, today keep a review about all the meditation skills, and I answer some of the questions. Okay. So now, if we begin to do sit meditation, and remember that no marble floor, cold or wood floor, without, put some kind of a cloth or a cushion. At least you should put a cushion, or some kind of a blanket. So don't sit on the cold floor, and not sit on soft sofa, like a soft sofa either. Okay, firm floor but not cold. And then you should have a cushion behind. You can sit so your hip will be higher than your knees. And when you do the cushion area, first one is a determination. I am going to have a good section of meditation, and I will not give up, and I will not wandering around, and I'm going to spend a good time with meditation. Okay, so we're meditation hall, and try to disengage with all other things. No music, no friends, no turn off the telephone. And then when you sit, always remember, okay, body, breath, and mind. Body, breath, and mind. For the body, 6-step vital channel. So your feet, so closed, always closed. You can do half lotus position or full lotus position. And then you dry, relax, and the hands, the thumbs slightly touched. And now circle clockwise, counterclockwise to loosen your muscle and also joints. Okay, and make sure you sit stable. Now, okay. Now shoulder, shrug the shoulder back and forth. And then finally, open up, put it down. Now your chin, not up, not down, but horizontal, pull in. And now, exhale, breathe out. The impure air which congests body 3 times, and then close your mouth, close your mouth to reserve the pure air. Okay, from your mouth, exhale. Your eye closed. Now, the tip of your tongue behind the upper teeth, the tip of your tongue behind, slightly touched behind the upper teeth. Now you have a very good, body posture. I think that the most difficult is indeed it's our head. When you see people sitting, sometimes, especially our chin, either is too high, or sometimes we cannot nod. Especially when someone fall asleep, kind of nodding. Okay, and or the head go one side, so make sure that your nose and it's into one line, and your ear and your shoulder, it's become a one line. Your arms, the side. Okay, now pretty good with the body posture. Now let's start to do the breathing, anapana. Anapana is the way to leading you to concentration. Okay, so you breathing in, breathing out. You count 1. When you're doing the breathing, remember 3 kinds of signs or the way of breathing is no good. The first one is you call wind, means that you breathe in with a noise. So don't make a noise. The second, no panting, no gasping. That means if that is the case, that means you do not breathe smoothly. There was some kind of a congestion. And if you breathe kind of not fine, not subtle, that means coarse or rough. These are three signs, these are three ways of breathing, not considered as ideal. So just breathing in, breathing out, and the breath, the subtle, the longer, the finer, it's better. In, breathing out from 1 to 10. After counting, just follow in. You are breathing in and breathing out. So raise the awareness that you know the breath is coming. The air is cold or hot or warm. And the air goes out. Is your breath too long or too short? Do you breathe too harsh or gentle? Manipulate the breathing, but just observing and knowing that breath is full of your whole body. Now, I leave you the time, just silently doing the meditation, and then no instruction from me for at least 10 minutes. Let's start it with the METTA meditation. METTA means loving kindness, and we would like to send in our loving kindness prayer and the thought to ourselves and to people we know and we do not know. May I be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my spouse, partner, and children be free from infection of coronavirus and other diseases, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my parents, brothers, and sisters free from infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my teachers and students be free from infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my bosses, employees, and colleagues be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all my friends and neighbors be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this country be free from the infection of coronavirus, other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this world be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the sentient beings in this universe free from greed, hatred, and ignorance, free from suffering, and be well and happy. May all the doctors, nurses, caretaker, medical care, whoever standing in the front line be free from the coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. We would like to transfer meditation merit to all these medical personnel and wish them physically and mentally healthy. May all the political leaders free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from greed, hatred, and ignorance, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. We prayed that they have enough wisdom and sense of humanity to adopt proper measure to save more lives, create a harmonious society and peaceful world. May all the people who got affected by coronavirus and other diseases with speedy recovery, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people who die of coronavirus and other diseases rest in peace and be reborn in a better, happier, healthier realms. We would like to transfer the merit from our meditation to those anonymous heroes who are fighting in this battle. And we wish them can do it successfully. Amito. Rubbing our hands, cover our eyes, and massage forehead, scalp, ears, your neck, shoulder, your arms, your back, your thigh, and knees, and leg, and feet. Okay. I always have to remind myself that I have to do the instruction. I still have to do the talk. But otherwise, when I close eyes, I really enjoy the meditation. And I want to tell you that a lot of people see that you with the eye closed and you sit still. It looks like you have nothing to do. But indeed, when you are doing the meditation, we are very busy. Okay, when we do meditation, we are very busy. The first one, even though with your eye closed, the first one, you have to kind of adjust the breathing and observing the breathing. And if this technique is not working, you have to change the other technique. Or from this technique, and then you change into the other one, like from counting and then following, or try to, kind of observe the, transition, the inhale and exhale. Find the, kind of stop, point. And also, when our mind kind of go away, and you have to bring it back, So go away and bring it back, go away and bring it back. Or doing the sensation, observation, or scan, or observing your mind. So it's very busy, and not only like, once when you have that concentration and you have a very, the thought is kind of a, unsubtle, and you try to kind of until your breathing become very subtle, and your thought is not floating around, like a floating. And then you have the joy, But in the Buddhist text, will tell you, no, that is not enough. Okay, you still need to, those very rough, you still need to kind of get rid of it. You have to go to a very, very subtle happiness. So that, in the meditation, you kind of keep going and go on, move on and move on. It's not just, sitting there and then still there, because the final is to have some as well. And so in the Tian-Tai meditation manual indicated that you have the first dhyana, concentration, and second stage of concentration, third and fourth, and even move on. Okay, just like you have a first grade, second grade, third grade, and up to 12th grade. So meditation, indeed, inside is very busy. So if you can overcome the physical discomfort, and then have some concentration, so you can sit. Usually, in the temple, that the training for the public, it's like an hour a section. That means usually it's like a 50 minutes. In the past, in the ancient time, when there was no clock, and in the monastery, usually the monk will burn incense, the stick incense. I'm wondering how big that will be, but usually that will consider. And then you start to burn the incense, and so when you finish one stick of the incense, they call 一支香. I believe probably 2. Because that's the way kind of a Chinese talk about. Right now, all kind of refer to an hour. So, but nowadays in the temple, you will ask how long where they train for meditation, how long, for one section. Usually at least 15 minutes, okay? And there was a 10-minute break. But at that time for our training, usually it's half hour. So it's about like 90 minutes. 90 minutes. And of course, there was a break, and you don't have to go to use bathroom. You can just sit. So if you have really get into the meditation, you don't have to get up. You can just sit. Sit until maybe, for the lunch. Then you get up for lunch, because in the temple, that if you miss the lunch, then you have no food to eat. So you basically have to follow, the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner. So you can sit through in the between, like a breakfast to the lunch, and lunch to the dinner time. You can sit without get up. That means that you can sit at least 3 or 4 hours without get up. Just depends on how good you can be. So and then in the regular monastery life, a routine schedule is people get up in the morning and doing the sitting meditation. But most of the Han tradition Buddhism, we are doing the morning chanting rather than meditation. So you can see all of the texts that, morning prayer, usually like you have all this mantra and singing. and walking. Usually an hour, huh? But if it's a new moon day or full moon day, it will last much longer because in the liturgical the text, your own rituals, what kind of verses you have to chant, or what kind of mantra you have to chant, recite. So daily probably an hour, but for new moon day and full moon day usually longer, like 1.5 hours. And this is what I mean is morning chanting, not meditation at all. It's morning chanting. And also Han tradition also have an evening chanting. Different texts, and usually it's about an hour as well. So that is why the Han tradition, or the Chinese Han tradition practice, daily life do not spend that much time on meditation. So meditation usually it was set as so-called 7 days of meditation, 禅期. But in Taiwan, most popular nowadays, not that much about 禅期, it's about 佛期. That means also doing meditation, but doing the meditation time, you recite the Buddha's name. Also meditation, but when you do meditation, you recite the Buddha's name. As I mentioned it before, that there are all kinds of meditation method. Okay, like we say, breathing meditation, and vipassana meditation, and also have a visualization meditation, and also have a mantra, like keep the mantra, you should recite the mantras meditation. So, and then you have a Kong'an, and you have a Huatou, and also have a very popular nowadays in Taiwan, it's called recite the Buddha's name, Amitabha's name, meditation. So this is called 佛期. And but in this class, we only share with you meditation, and then asana meditation. And the other one also, kind of mind subdued meditation, or more like a, anti-analysis meditation. So you should just pick up the one really fix you. And for me, I always kind of mix a little bit about regimen, like maintain the health through the breathing, and then how to maintain the health. So all kinds of meditation. But now come to an issue is recently, I think today I also kind of bump into news. The people working in the front line, this is a boy commit suicide, because I think that now, the people who work in the ER and the front line, they see so much suffering, and they have seen so much suffering, and they have to, in their mental, it's a big, kind of a great pressure. And of course, right now, we are kind of in a social, distance in quarantine. I really feel like in the future, if we can't, we really like to see how can we work with the public health, and this maybe need to do it like, during the ordinary time, not just in this kind of emergency. Now we include ourselves. We were kind of isolated. And of course, I have done this the meditation for 39 days, and I'm more like a scholar sitting here and talking about enlightenment, okay? And I really don't know that we can adopt this kind of meditation to help people, who are in the ER and front line to adopt this, skill. So I think the best way we will be, the people like me, the monks and nuns, and talking to the people are working as, doctors and nurses, and have some kind of a dialogue and training, sharing as well. So, because for me, my mission, my job is looking for enlightenment, but for many of you are the professionals, like nurses and doctors, you guys to save people's life, and you know how, but our job may be to help you to keep it, how can we keep it the mental, to be mental health, healthier. And as we mentioned that the Buddhism, the detachment, detachment, it's very important. Sometimes that you serve the people, it's not like you don't have empathy, but you also need to attach from what happened, because that is not something, because caused by you or can solve the problem. So you need to have that kind of equanimity, detachment. Especially, I think, for social work, it's very important, the detachment and then equanimity. Very important. I don't know, I just feel, after I read all this news, I just feel really sad that, these people will try to help other people, but, they cannot help themselves. And, I think that see if we can help them. Okay, we only have a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and to answer some of the questions. I already, answered the student, Professor Lina, virtually class. They total have 12 questions. And here, I also have a list, the question from some of our alumni. I call them fishes because started from 2002, that every year we bring the 100 students. At the beginning maybe just a 50, but later 100 students, and then every year to Asia, originally Taiwan, and then start from 2013, we started mainland China. So right now we have over thousands alumni, and I call them fishes. This year, the temple in Taiwan has been ready to welcome our students. However, now with this situation, I don't think that happened because there was no flight, and I don't think that people are really kind of just can just accept anybody from any country, especially Taiwan right now, probably, many of the flights not available. So we're going to postpone till the end of this year, in December. And we pray for, this to get over quickly. And we need to have a faith, and we need to have a confidence. We know about the reality, but we still like to, pray, better situation, and then get over soon. Okay. Here has 2 questions. Okay. The first one: what is the difference between a lay Buddhist and a devoted Buddhist? The second question: can Buddhists be married and have kids? What is your stand on marriage? Okay. Here, devoted Buddhist, maybe what you mean is people like me join the order, become what we call the monastic. Okay. So let's put it this way. Let me answer this way, that, during the time of the Buddha, that the Buddha always said that in the Sangha, Sangha, S-A-N-G-H-A, Sangha originally means 3 or 4 people together. It's an assembly. But right now, the Sangha is become like a Buddhist community. So mention about in the Sangha, S-A-N-G-H-A. The Sangha, Buddhist community, have 4 kinds of assemblies. Okay, keep it in mind. Basically 2. One is called monastics, and the other one is called lay people. And within this monastic, we have monks and nuns. And the monks and nuns are those people. How can you tell monks and nuns? The first one is shave the head and put the robe. So our robe kind of different from regular people. So you as I mentioned, that we have Theravada Buddhism, Han Buddhism, and Tibetan Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism. Okay, Theravada, Han, and Vajrayana, or Tibetan Buddhism. And then you the robe, a different color, different shape. But immediately, because we shave the head and put the kind of not ordinary clothes, so immediately people can tell they are the monastic. And then second, Buddhism welcome the men and women. Even though right now we have the issue about some tradition, they won't recognize the women. But in the history, in the tradition during the time of the Buddha, in the Buddhist text, very, very clear indicated that we have male monastics and the female monastic. And so the male monastic is called Bhikkhu, and the female monastic is called Bhikkhuni, or Bhikshuni, or Bhikshuni, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni. Okay, Sanskrit and the Pali term. And then for the lay people, you also have men and women. So for the men, laymen is called Upāsaka, and for the lay women, Upāsikā. So this is so that means what? That means that in Buddhist community, you join the order and become a monks and nuns. And I want to say that the monks and nuns have to keep a celibacy. No matter whether you married before or not, but when you come to the order, then you have to keep the celibacy. You're not supposed to have sexual activity with same sex or opposite sex. So celibacy. So this is the monastics. And then for the lay people, you can marry, have a wife or has a husband, has children, just like living in a regularly life. Okay? You don't have to shave the head. You don't put the robe. And how will you tell you are a Buddhist? Okay? So there is a rite, like a ceremony, just like a baptism. You go to the church, go through that the ceremony. So in Buddhism, it's called 3 refugees. Taking 3 refugees, or take a refuge on the triple gems. And 3 is a refuge in the Buddha, the teacher, and take a refuge in the Dharma, that means the teaching, and take a refuge in the Sangha, that means the group as your guidance. The monastic, the group. So you come to the temple to take a 3 refuge, then you are kind of become a Buddhist. Many people who come to the temple, they practice, they attend the meditation, they attend the Dharma function, but they do not take a refugees. And some people, they take a refugees, but they rarely come to the temple to practice. So all kinds of people, But this is what we, and for monks and nuns. Okay, later, I will, talk about 2 phenomena, exceptional. The first one, right now, the first one is in Japan, that you have looks like a monk, but they get married and they also has children. But they shave their head, they put their robe. That is to do with some of the history in Japan. Maybe we can talk about later or tomorrow. So this is Japanese monk, mostly monks. The nuns not get married. Still in Japan, these Buddhist nun or Buddhist Bhikkhuni, they are more restrict. That means they don't get married. They keep celibacy. Okay. And so the Theravada tradition, they say we recognize, the Japanese boats, the monk, because they have wife, they have the children. And I know that maybe some of the Korea traditions, some of the Korean monk would like to adopt kind of a tradition, and but this tradition won't happen in the Han tradition. Of course, go to the Tibetan, maybe some of the very minor, you Lama also has some kind of wife. But I think that the mainstream in either Theravada Buddhism, Han Buddhism, and the Vajrayana or Tibetan Buddhism. When you are Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, monks and nuns, you should keep the celibacy and do not marry or have children. So then after you shave your head, you put the robe. The first one, you have to, this is called tongue short. Like you shave your head, and maybe at that time you are like a novice. The master will give you kind of a minor precept, like a 10 rules. But all the Han tradition that you have to go to called fully ordained ordination, full ordination, and you will receive one is the novice precept, and then the Bhikkhu or Bhikkhuni precept, and then Bodhisattva precept. So there was a 3-stage. And once when you receive ordination, you have gone through this ceremony, then you will be considered a full the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni. I said there was another exception phenomena. One is about the monk in Japan that they marry and have kids. The other one is about Bhikkhuni. The issue is in Theravada. During the time that we do have a Bhikkhuni, the female monastic, but Theravada right now, they won't recognize that there has a Bhikkhuni. And in Tibetan tradition as well, they just consider that the lineage broke and there was no way to transmit the precept. And so these two traditions won't recognize it. And only the Han tradition keep going, and most of the Bhikkhuni. But my personal opinion is, I know that they're going to study, the lineage, the Vinaya, the precept, but, what I say, okay, give an ordination, and because we are kind of bring more, we are more conscientious about gender equality. Yeah. So hope that this Buddhist leader, especially the monks leader, they recognize this situation. Well, now it's 2 minutes past 9 o'clock, and I will continue about this subject tomorrow night. Thank you so much, and I see you tomorrow at